there! My name is Mooshou, but you can call me Moosh. There are way too many versions of a video script for this video. One of them made it out of the gates, and then I never ended up doing anything with it. I've been wanting to do YouTube since I was in 5th grade. I've always wanted to do YouTube. Even me and my friends used to have a make-believe game where we pretended to be YouTubers. And then I tried a bunch of times. And then the pandemic hit. And I had a free time and an editing software and a very recently found obsession with sander sides. So I decided to sit on my couch and make fully 100% self-indulgent videos on sander sides. And I posted them, and I got way more views than I expected they would. And I was finally living the dream. And I threw it all away because the pandemic stopped and I got other interests, and I was back to square one with school taking most of my time, and I just didn't have time nor the motivation to continue with YouTube. And after the short success of my sander sites run, I never tried again for a very long time. And I don't know why. I didn't. I graduated middle school. I went to high school where I met a lot of people. I met so many people. And then I took a gap year where I went to work, where I connected a lot with people that I already knew and met more new people. And then I went to college and I met even more people. And in all aspects of my life, between after middle school and college, I've met so many amazing and great people who I love to talk to. And at least 2 people out of those 3 aspects of my life have told me, hey, have you considered doing YouTube? I think you'd be good at that. Have you considered live streaming? Have you considered being a VTuber? Have you considered doing a podcast? Have you considered doing things? Because I think you'd be good at that. And whenever somebody says something like that, I always laugh a little because it shows how little they actually know about me as a person. Because if they knew me a little bit better, they would know that the answer to those questions is I have tried almost all of those options. I've done YouTube videos. I've done live streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. However, the Twitch VODs are lost media. I do not have any record of those. I did not do VTubing because at the time when I discovered what it was, I looked into VTubing before I was actually a fan of actual VTubers. But when I was looking into doing VTube, I didn't have the equipment, and also there weren't as many free resources at the time, so I opted for a PNG tuber instead. And I'm sure if you give me some time, I will pull up the files that I drew with my phone. Pretty sure I did TikTok as well. Yeah, I've tried so many different aspects, and yet I somehow stopped doing that. And I find it funny how when I was doing YouTube and when I stopped doing YouTube, a lot more people told me that I'd be really good at it. That might also be because when I was doing YouTube, I was antisocial and I wasn't talking to anybody at all. And now that I am being more social and people are experiencing my true personality, people are like, hey, have you tried doing the entertainment industry? And like, I know that I have the potential to do something good. I've done it before. I did it as a job. This company hired me when I was fresh out of high school and knew nothing about marketing, and they were like, hey, make videos. And I was just like, okay. And then I did it, and it was somewhat successful enough that they were pretty satisfied with my work. And then I started college, and I couldn't keep up with balancing work with school, so I had to drop it, unfortunately. But I miss it a lot. I miss creating a lot. And every single year, every other month, I sit down and I write my script. I write my I'm back script, even though nobody who used to watch me cares about me, knows who I am, and doesn't care that I was once here and then left and came back. It's less of a I'm back video and more of like a hi, nice to meet you kind of video that nobody's going to see because people don't really watch these kind of videos. These videos don't really go viral. So this is more of a conversation between you and me and all those people who told me to become a YouTuber who will eventually find this video. Don't know if I'm going to tell them about this. We'll find out. I sit down and I write the script. And sometimes I get past the script. Sometimes I actually sit down and I record the video. And during that video process, I think to myself, this is so stupid. What am I doing? Sometimes I bite through that and I get through that part. And I get to the editing stage. And the editing stage, that's where the imposter syndrome is the worst, because that's when really all of the demons come out and they're like, what am I doing? This is so stupid. And the thing is, this happens with every single video I create. All of those 100 videos that I created for my job, every single video I ask myself, why am I doing this? What's the point? This is so stupid. But the only reason why I was able to succeed in keeping up with a consistent posting schedule and keeping up with facing my fears is because I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for a company. It was because a different company depended on my skills and abilities to further in their marketing. And that was enough of a motivator to keep me going. To think, I might find this stupid, but my opinion doesn't matter here. It's the opinion of the executives. It's opinion of my manager who cares. Like, if he finds this good, then it gets posted. My opinion personally doesn't, it matters, but not as significantly. Once you take the work aspect out of it, and it's just for me, and it's just me sitting down and recording a video for myself because this is what I want to do. This is my dream. That's when all the imposter syndrome gets me. That's when I can no longer ignore it because there's an external force that it motivates me. It's just me. And if I can't convince myself to do it, who is? Because I'm not doing it for anybody else except me. And I think back to middle school me in 2020, making her silly Sander Sites videos and laughing at herself, and posting it on YouTube just to share the video with her friends in an easier way. And I think to myself, how was I able to do that? I had fun. I edited those videos purely for myself. I would make jokes and videos that would make me laugh. And as long as it made me laugh, that was what was most important. Myself. But now every time I step in front of this camera and I look it into its eyes and I start talking and I start reading from my script and I sit down and I start editing the video, something eats away at me thinking, this is so stupid. Meanwhile, this is what I want. I'm doing this for me and nobody else. Nobody is forcing me to do this. Nobody is holding me at gunpoint and saying do it. And frankly, that is the issue. It's that nobody is forcing me to do this, because if they were forcing me to do this, I would have been able to get over this, but I'm not. I'm having that issue. I told myself 6 is my favorite number. It is now June, the 6th month of the year of 2026. And I told myself that if I don't start with any of my projects this year, I will be severely disappointed and upset with myself. Because I will have missed the golden opportunity. I kept telling myself, I will wait for the perfect moment, the right moment where all the stars are aligned, and I can start with shooting my video. The stars have aligned. It is 2026. It is now or never, because now is the most optimal, perfect time to start. Do you know how weird it is to say, oh yeah, I started in 2027, 2028. I hate the number 8. 2029. The next optimal year would either be 2030 or 2035. I'm not doing that. I'm not waiting that long for my dream just because that is the next perfect moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make videos that are purely self-indulgent. Videos that make me happy. Every time I'm editing, I always look at the way that I'm editing and thinking, how can I make this more entertaining? How can I keep people's attention? Am I going to bore anybody? Is my rambling going to be too boring? Should I speed up this process of me talking because I'm taking way too long to say what I want to say? How can I make this better for somebody else to watch? That it's not going to be boring. And I've decided, instead of doing that, I'm going to make purely self-indulgent content. I'm going to make the content that little me would like. I'm going to make the content that makes me happy, just like how I used to make content in 2020. Because at the end of the day, that is the only piece of content that actually did well. Same with my TikTok page. I had an undercover TikTok page that I think only 2 people know about, and both of them forgot it exists. So only I know about it. And those videos did numbers. Those videos that did really well. And those videos were, again, purely just self-indulgent videos. And both of these channels, these social media platforms, are more fandom related. I want to live my dream. Obviously, who doesn't? And people keep telling me that I would be good for it. The universe keeps giving me signs that I should do it. And the only thing that has been stopping me is myself and my perfectionism. And it's a shame. Because I could be better. All of this has been spoken from the heart. This is the only introduction video that I have filmed without a script. Obviously, I rehearsed this morning in my head, but then I didn't think about it during college, and now I have the time to film. And I told myself I'm going to sit down and I'm going to load up my camera and I'm going to film. I'm lucky my camera had battery. This is the only introduction video that I haven't fully scripted out to the T. And I think it's going to be the second, I can't say the only one because I ended up finishing one of them, but it's going to be one of the only ones that will actually make it out of the woodwork. Because it is not a, I'm back, here's what I'm gonna do video. It's a, hey, I'm here video. It scares me. But life is all about getting out of your comfort zone. And if I stay within my comfort zone, I'm not going to be able to achieve my dreams. And if I'm the only person who's stopping me from achieving my dreams, then maybe I should do something about that. So, I hope that you'll be here, sticking around for the journey and see what I get up to. I have some form of idea and plans for videos that I want to personally do, but also videos that people have asked and requested of me to do, which I definitely want to do. I hope you're excited for the journey, because I surely am. Thank you for watching this video if you made it all the way to the end. Usually what a YouTuber does at this point is give a shout out to their Patreons. But I don't have a Patreon, so instead, subscribe. Yeah. If you subscribe, you'll get to know what I get up to and see if I actually succeed. Do you want to know if I actually succeed? Subscribe now and find out.